Welcome back! Today, we're diving into a brand new explainer on building a highly practical AI governance foundation with AI Care Agents 24/7. We're going to take all that chaotic, overwhelming energy of applying AI in the public benefits sector, and we're going to channel it into a rock-solid, deliberate strategy.
But right off the bat, I've got a critical question for you. Where do you fit in? Seriously, in this massive, rapidly evolving landscape of public benefit AI, where do your unique skills, your background, and your passions actually belong? I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this, because by the end, you're going to have a very clear answer.
Everything we're looking at today comes straight from AI Care Agents 24/7. Their core mission is incredible. They are completely dedicated to helping nonprofits, legal aid organizations, and clinics pull themselves out of that technological chaos and move into a state of governed, purposeful action.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick off with the governance journey, then tackle how to avoid scope creep, maximize your community impact, compare the three paths, and finally, find your absolute perfect fit. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The AI Governance Journey, Laying the Groundwork. Look, it is completely normal to feel totally overwhelmed when you try to apply AI governance across the entire public benefits sector. It's a huge undertaking, but as we lay the groundwork here, you have to remember one thing. You need a foundational strategy first. Rushing to write sweeping, generalized policies or buying shiny new AI tools before you actually have a plan in place, that isn't just ineffective, it's honestly a recipe for disaster.
Which brings us to Section 2, avoiding scope creep by limiting your focus.
We all know the headache of trying to govern everything all at once, right? It's impossible. To avoid spreading yourself way too thin, you have to use a scope funnel. Think of it like this. You transition from being a wandering generalist at the very top down through 3 highly targeted filters. You narrow down to a niche problem, a niche client, and a niche workflow.
Let's put that into perspective. If your scope is simply AI for nonprofits, you are literally going to drown in a massive wave of conflicting use cases and compliance standards. But if you filter that down to something like AI governance for legal aid intake workflows, well, suddenly you have a precise target. You know exactly what problem you are solving. Game changer, right?
To really lock this in, you'll want to use the focus statement template provided in the module. It basically forces you to write a clear, one-sentence declaration of exactly who you help and the specific AI governance problem you solve for them. Think of it as your strategic anchor.
Moving on to Section 3, maximizing impact through unmet need and funding.
Okay, so once you have that narrow focus, how do you actually decide which workflows deserve your time and funding? Because let's face it, not all workflows are created equal. Take legal aid client intake, for example. Navigating those strict confidentiality rules requires incredibly high effort. But because it drastically expands access to justice, it yields a massive, massive community impact. So in this case, that heavy lifting is absolutely worth it.
You have to rank your specialties by 2 main factors: unmet need and funding signals. High-impact areas like legal aid intake, clinic communications, and grant compliance are prime examples here. A severe unmet need gives you your purpose, sure, but strong funding signals ensure your governance work actually stays financially sustainable in the long run.
To take the guesswork out of this whole process, go ahead and download the Priority Shortlist tool. It'll practically guide you to rank potential specialties based entirely on your organization's own unique capabilities and constraints.
Section 4. Comparing the paths. Let's look at Site Plan 4.
In Site Plan 4, we are comparing 3 primary paths in the public benefit sector: legal aid, nonprofits, and clinics. Which one fits you best? Today, we are doing a side-by-side comparison of the daily work, key laws, required knowledge, and typical deliverables for each.
Look at the 3-column comparison table on your screen. You will notice that a legal aid path focuses heavily on client disclosure and supervisory rules. A clinic path centers on patient communications and health privacy, and a general nonprofit path might lean heavily toward donor data and grant obligations. Understanding these differences is crucial for tailoring their governance approach.
And that leads perfectly into Section 5, finding your natural fit and tailoring your approach. You simply cannot govern a health clinic the exact same way you govern a legal aid office. The underlying structures are just too different. To figure out where you naturally align, download the PathFit Self-Assessment. This tool will match your background and interests with the sector that needs your skills the most.
So, let's recap your action plan. Step 1. Draft your focus statements so you aren't spread thin. Step 2. Rank your options using the priority shortlist for maximum impact. Step 3. Complete the path fit assessment to find your exact sector alignment. Make sure to check the description to download today's tools, and then proceed to the next module to continue building out your foundation.
You now have the foundational knowledge and the practical tools right in front of you. The groundwork is officially laid. So I leave you with this final thought. Which path will you govern today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.